So, Coach, at what point do you start recruiting a player?
Well, it depends. Unfortunately, it's getting earlier and earlier. I mean, I'm not watching 6th and 7th grade games yet, but it's getting into that when they're freshmen. You start building your database and start building relationships and getting guys on your radar. And very, very special cases, maybe you will offer somebody at that age. But as you get into your summer before your sophomore year, start to get evaluated a little bit harder and start making unofficial visits, and then it can ramp up as a 10th grader, and some are a little bit later, and you'll come as juniors and the late bloomers. We always say room for a little bit of that, and it's just a matter of building your database and finding out who's interested in your university and getting to know the people. I think that's the biggest thing right now, is getting to know the kid, getting to know the family, what they're all about. But we do start that at a very young process.
Developing that relationship.
No doubt about it. It's what it's all about.
So how many times does it take you to see a player on the field before you say, hey, we want you to come on campus, take a look around? How many times does it take?
Could be 1, could be 10. There's guys you see right away, you're like, that skill set plays.
Yep.
The motor plays. You see that. Then there's other guys you watch, you're like, we have to see. And then you watch them again, and they grow on you. And then, I better see that one more time. And then it grows on you again. So, it really, every case is a little bit different. There's not exactly one template you follow with every single kid. But the more you can see them, the better.
Gotcha. And then, so kind of take you back to your high school days and say, if you were a high school guy right now, how would you approach recruiting?
When we dust off the yearbook. That was a long time ago. No. The one thing that I see that I think is very valuable is kids doing their homework. When you get the general email, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I get rid of those things. When I get 50, 80 of those a day. I mean, it's just honestly, it's when those ones that catch your attention, it's like, oh, that kid actually looked us up. That kid actually had made some connection and really did his homework on the school. And I'm not just talking baseball. I'm talking something within the academic part of it, or just Husker Nation in general, or just it's like, wait, it kind of catches your attention. So I would have made it personal. I would have really done my homework and find what schools were really on my list. What is something? What do they have that I want? What do they have that is something I could see myself spending 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is? And that's what I would have done. And maybe those schools don't like you.
Yeah.
But you got to start at the top. Just like when you set goals and you chase your dreams, go for the highest ones, man. And then if it doesn't work out, you can always find different things to go to. But just for me, it's all about a personal level. Just like we want to get to know them personally, well, the best way to do it is to reach out personally.
So it's developing that one-to-one relationship, just trying to get in the door. And I mean, camps, do you think camps are...
You can. I mean, you don't have to necessarily do them. It'd be nice to do it, but it's not a priority for us. But if somebody does it, it doesn't hurt. That's for sure. But what I always want to do is I want to find out about those kids 2, 3 years before they even come to campus, and find out who they're all about. Get to know them, so when they get here, 2 weeks into it, 2 months into it, they're like, that's pretty much what we signed up for. We both know each other. And when you do that, that's when you can have really meaningful relationships, because you start building that trust earlier.
And that's a perfect segue. So like when you are saying that talent is completely equal across the board, when you're looking at a player, like what character traits do you look for, and then how do you find those?
Well, you get to know them. You talk to their parents. You get to know mom and dad. If there's not a mom and dad, you get to know whoever's taking care of them. You find out from their coaches. You talk to area scouts. You get as much information as you can. But for me, I want to find that person that's going to do the right thing all the time. Are the kids that are going to make mistakes? Of course, they're going to screw up the kids. That's part of the deal. But when you can see that they have their teammates' best interests at heart and they're trying to get better every single day, it comes out. I can look in their eyes and you can see that. You can see that fire. You can see that desire. But when there's a lot of I's being talked about, well, I did this, I did that, I look for the guys that say we did this, our team. Those kind of guys, little words like that make a big difference in your talks.
That's crazy. So just like conversation, like everyone looks good, but then it's like those little minute details that you're looking for that
absolutely
that changes.
You can see what their priorities are in a heartbeat.
What is the best advice you have ever received as a player?
Be yourself. So simple, but it's the truth. We try and please so many people. We try and please college coaches. We try and please scouts. We try and please everybody. No, please yourself. Be yourself. This whole journey of life from high school to college, you're trying to find out who you are. And if you're always trying to please other people, you're going to never find out who you really are. And for me, that's the best thing I ever did. And when you do that, you know that you're just going to go out and give it everything you have. And the only thing you have to do at the end of the day is look in the mirror and know you gave it everything you have every single day. And it's not what somebody says to you or good job or bad job. You just have to be able to put your head on your pillow overnight knowing that you emptied the tank. When you do that, that's the best thing you can do. And it frees up so much stuff in your life because you just know you're going to get the most out of your abilities. If it's, JUCO, NAI, Division 1, 2, or 3, or you don't even, all you do is play high school baseball, that's fine. But one thing you don't want to have at the end of all this is regret. And most kids will have regret because, well, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I wish I would have done this. No, just empty the tank, man. Be yourself and have fun.
Coach, it was a pleasure.
My pleasure, Spiker.
Awesome interview.